Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. A lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you.
Goeienaand! Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's very, very special live stream. And we've got 4 guests joining us tonight. We've got, obviously, Marinda, who is the wife of Izak van Zyl. Now, Isaac's going to be joining us very briefly tonight. He's not well, so it'll be a very short visit. We also have Christo, Jonck, who is the 2IC under Izak, and Wessel Basson from Patriots for Minorities. Okay, let me get them on. Here we go. Sorry guys, I think they're on a group. They expected me to come into a group call. I'm just sorting this out, so we'll just get them now. Okay, let's start with Izak. Hi, Izak.
How are you, Scott?
Excellent, thank you. Excellent. I'll just try and get the rest of the crew on. Okay, I won't be a second.
Okay.
So, while we're just waiting for Marinda, here comes Marinda now. Hi, Marinda.
Good evening, Scott.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good. You've got your wonderful husband on screen as well. You just want to say hi to each other. I'm just going to get the other two on, okay?
Lekker veel.
So, add. Okay. Isaac, while I'm getting Christo and Wessel on, I don't want to keep you on long because I know you're not well at all. You just want to give a message to people in the live stream, don't you? Would you like to just go ahead with that? And I'll then get the other two folk on and, we'll continue with the live stream.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Scott, for the opportunity. I just want to say here from my hospital bed that I'm not on my phone the whole day as before, but whenever I look and I see the messages, I try to respond to each and every message as soon as I receive it or as soon as I see it. I just want to make use of the opportunity out of the bottom of my heart for each and every contribution, financial contribution, for each and every, I cannot describe the feeling and the humbleness in my heart for knowing that with the people can stand together and the folk can stand together, and I'm sure, I'm very sure that whenever I come out of this hospital with the procedure being done, there's going to be a testimony, and things are going to happen for the good in South Africa, because I saw with my own eyes what huge difference it can make in one person's life if people are standing together.
Fantastic. Okay, Isaac.
And before I finish, Scott, I just want to make use of this opportunity to thank the Patriote van Minderhede, especially Wessel, Basson, and Marius Koetse for the extra mile that they did to obtain a court order to force the Steve Biko hospital to hand over the data that belongs to me. And we are struggling for the past 3 days since I arrived at the hospital to get the data so that the doctors can make an analysis without doing another angiogram that will cost about 120,000 rands. That's the figures that was given to me this afternoon when I asked. And I just want to thank the two gentlemen from the Patriote van Minderhede. That's why I like to be associated with those guys, with Patriote, Wessel, Basson, and Marius Koetse, because they are doing these things. They are making these things happen for the people who belongs to them. And I just want to make use of this opportunity to encourage the people who are sitting in the same boat as me, who are struggling with the government structures, who are struggling to make ends meet, to get things done by the system, to become members of Patriote, because that is what they are doing. They are fighting for your rights. They are fighting to make South Africa a better place for all. And they are standing up for the rights of the minorities in South Africa. And I salute you.
Fantastic. I just want to add to Marlena, who's done a fantastic job in just working behind the scenes. Congrats, Marlena. You've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, Scott. this is not the official acknowledgement from my side. I am going to make a huge acknowledgement from my side as soon as I'm finished and back at my office and back at home, and everything is normalized in my life. We are keeping book of each and every cent, even if it is a R5 contribution. We are making a holding book and record of each and every one, and we are not going to leave any stone. Anyone that contributed out of this effort that I'm going to make, and I want to keep it as a surprise, but we are going to make a huge contribution towards the saying thank you to the people of South Africa, the Boere Nasie, the English-speaking people who are feeling like Boere, who are Boere in their hearts, and I want to guarantee you the war has just begun.
Right. Now let me get Wessel, Basson on, and Christo, Jonck. Just see if I can get them on now. Give me a second. I'm just adding Wessel to the call. Marinda, is there something you'd like to say to Izak, because he'll be leaving us shortly?
No, I was on telephone with him the whole day, every 5 minutes. I'm just glad he looks better. I told you the previous time, we're going to see miracles. Yeah. His enzyme count was 475 on Monday. It should be 15, and it's now down to 170.
Wow.
So there is a huge progress, and I just want to add up the person that was doing all the running around work to get the court order done was Elsaby, that was working with Wessel and Marius. So I think we must thank her as well.
Yeah.
Without them, it wouldn't be possible. And then Isaac had to go for another angiogram. And the sister in the hospital told us that your body can't handle that much. I think they inject you with iodium, what it's called in English. Iodium, I don't know. Yes, but it's too much for a person's body in such a short period. So once again, a big thank you from my side, and to Izak. You must get well now.
Right, now, Wessel Basson is here with us. Wessel, here he comes. Wessel's with us now. Do you want to send him a message directly, Izak?
Hallo Wessel.
Hallo Izak, hoe gaan met jou?
Want ek slaap nog nie. Ek dog jy is al in die bed.
Jy weet mos, daar's belangrike dinge. There's too much important things to do than sleep.
Wessel, thank you for being on this program. Broer Legioen and Scott is coming a long way already, and
hello.
I think
Hi, Chris,
ek dink is baie
carry on.
Ek dink is baie gepas. Hallo Christo.
Hallo Wessel.
Hallo Janet.
Goed om jou Wessel.
Ja, goed, baie dankie. Ekskuus, ek weet nie eens hoe lyk my haar.
Ek wil maar net gou van my kant af net op hierdie medium en van hierdie geleentheid gebruik maak to thank Wessel and Patriotte vir Minderhede for getting hold of a court order in order to force Steve Biko Hospital to hand over the angiogram and the data pertaining my medical information that allows the surgeons and the cardiologists to make informed decisions into what is going to happen to me. Without that data, I would have, ek sou deur die hele proses moes weer gegaan het, en ek het vandag die kwotasie gekry is nog 140,000, another 140,000 rand. To do the procedure, and it's a very dangerous procedure 2 weeks after a previous angiogram because of the iodine in your blood system.
Right.
It cannot be healthy to your kidneys, and you can get lots of side effects as a result of that.
Izak, have they got that data now?
Just repeat.
Have they got the data? Has the hospital, your hospital, got the data from Steve Biko?
Yeah, the cardiologist was in at my bed this afternoon, and he said that he's on his way now to Steve Biko Hospital. He got the court order in his hand, so he didn't give me any feedback as yet, but hopefully tomorrow morning there will be good news.
And when will they operate on you? Have any date?
As soon as they have the data, they will set a date, because it's not so easy to book a theater. They will set a date. I assume that it will be very early next week.
Right. Okay. Look, is there anything anyone would like to say to Izak before he goes? Because we don't want to stress.
Ja, ek kon net ek wil net graag vir Izak en vir die boerelegioen sê. Izak, ons het met graagte jou gehelp, want ons beskou jou as 'n vriend van die patriot van minderhede. Jy en die boerelegioen is vriende van ons. Ons beskou jou as 'n leier, and we cannot allow that a very important leader as Izak van Zyl, General Izak van Zyl, must go through this type of pain and so on, and suffering.
It's crazy.
So we will help wherever we can. We see him as a very important future leader in our society, and we respect him, and that is why we, from start of, I think we have mostly agree on all things, and I don't think there's any doubt that Izak van Zyl is one of our best friends of a lot of organizations in South Africa, because I think we understand each other, and because I'm an activist, and I think maybe because we were both old policemen, that is maybe why we are clicking, and we understand where we are heading in South Africa. So I don't think there's any doubt that the reasons why we want him to help, he's an important figure, and I wish him all the luck and the best for the operation that is following in the next few days.
And just from our side, Izak, I can tell you from myself and from all our subscribers, you're in our prayers, and we will be there with you on your journey, and we look forward to talking to you once you've recovered, and then we can have a proper live stream, just a long chat about the whole thing. Okay, Christo, is there something you'd like to say to Izak?
General Izak, we are there for you. You know that we're working very hard. We're keeping things up. Don't worry, relax. I know it's a hard time there in hospital for you, but I know that you can trust on us, and that we'll make sure that the work will go on. Doesn't matter what. Salute.
Yeah, I just want to also make use of the opportunity, Scott, just to thank my management team, General Jonck and General Stakler and Dominee Pieter, and all the brigadiers who are keeping the Boerelegioen growing and running, and keep on going with the training and putting the boots on the ground that we are going to need desperately very, very shortly.
Right.
So from my side, thanks guys. I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I know that we are going to pull this wagon through the river.
Right. Okay, Izak, we'll let you go, because you need to be hooked up again, and we want you to be safe. So have a good evening, and if you can, watch the live stream from the comfort of your bed. I'll actually send you a link later, so you can actually look at it, the whole thing later.
I'm listening, and I'm watching from on my back.
Okay. Okay then.
Thanks guys. Bye.
Good night.
Take care, Izak.
Bye.
Now, Marinda, if I can just go to you at this point in time.
Yes.
We spoke to you 2 days ago, and at that stage, Isaac was just going into the hospital, and you said that you had had problems at that time with the Steve Biko hospital. Tell us what's happened in the last 48 hours. What has actually happened?
Okay, what was happening was the struggle is real, and that was to get the angiogram test results out of Steve Biko. We phoned, and Izak's daughter drove there, and they just pull up their shoulders and said, no, it's their property. And then they said, no, we must pay 450 rand, then they will release it. And then when the doctor's receptionist found him, they told her, no, they must pay 750 rand, and then they will release it. And then again, I found him, and I told him, but just tell them we will pay the money so they can release the angiogram results. And then they told us, no, again, they can't release it because it's their property. They told Izak's daughter, Izak must come and get it himself.
How can you do that?
And every time we spoke to them, there was a different story. I spoke to Wessel last night, and within 5 minutes' time, Elzeby phoned me and said, we're going to court in 3 hours. So the response was very, very, very quick. It was a bit of a struggle to get all the paperwork printed and scanned and stamped at the police station, but eventually we've got all the documents, and they ruled in favor. That then they said they must release the angiogram tests.
Right. Now, I know that Wessel played a huge role in that. We'll get to Wessel in a second, and I've got a scan of the court order, which I'll show people very shortly. Now, Isaac was a bit of a naughty boy today, wasn't he? What did he do?
As you can see, he took off everything that was, I don't know, alles wat op hom gekoppel was, het hy afgehaal, en hy het vir die nurses gesê, I'm going on loving life myself tonight to thank the people. So I know the nurses had a huge fight with him and told him he can't, and then he said, I must.
Well, it's been absolutely wonderful to see him, see that he's well and in good spirits. Okay, now...
Yes, actually he is. As I said, on his half side, miracles is still busy to happen. He looks much, much, much better. The chest pain isn't constant anymore. It's a little bit better, but they said he walked like 5 steps and then he's got a pain back on his chest again, and he's getting very tired very soon. But there's improvement. So his heart is stabilized now. So I think we can work to a point now to get the operation done and get him home and back on his feet again.
Yeah, that's exactly the outcome we're looking for. Now,
yes.
Wessel.
Yes.
Tell us about your organization, Patriots for Minorities.
Well, Scott, the Patriots for Minorities was formed after me and Marius have traveled a lot through a few organizations and political parties, and at the end of the day we have decided that that most people we have served under was not really serious about the future of our people, and that means that we are activists. Me and Marius have met. I just give you a little bit of background. I've met Marius in LCB a few years back, where they have were the lawyers of Clive Darby Lewis. You remember him?
Yeah.
the guys that was involved in Chris Hani's murder. And at that stage, Clive was about in his late 70s, and he was stabbed at that stage twice in a 3-week period, sent to hospital, was chained on his bed, and at that stage I phoned LCB and said, listen, we can't allow that this savages, this ANC, is handling an old man like this. He's served his time, and we must start fighting for him. And I've led a few protest marches and protests in front of correctional services here in Pretoria. And well, things have mostly I've a few things that annoyed the government at that stage, and thankfully at the end of the day he was released on medical parole. First time we have met, and since then me and Marius have done a lot of situations.
Christo, there's a lot of interference coming through from your side. Can you keep the noise down a bit? Okay, carry on, please, Wessel.
Yes. So we were very involved in the Church Street bomb memorial services, starting a few years back, and me and Marius were the ones that have planted the memorial stone on the exact place where the Church Street bomb of 20 May 1983 have exploded, and that memorial stone is still lying today on that same place. And I think it's now 5 years. We have taken out the paving stones, and we have get recognition to all those people that have died under the bloody hands of the ANC government. Yeah. Abu Bakr, Ismail, and so. So yeah, that's just a few. But at the end of the day, we have traveled through a few organizations, and we have decided that we are not in the same league as certain people. They are just talking, and we are doers. So we don't want to talk. We want to do things, and we want to improve the lives of our people. And that is why we have started and formed the Patriots for Minorities. And that means that we have also have talked to a lot of other culture groups in South Africa, like the colored people, which also are very attacked by the same system like us, not on the affirmative side, but as a minority. We have said that we will fight for any minority group in South Africa that feels that their heritage, culture, and language has been attacked, and that is why we have been formed the Patriot of Minorities. So in short, that is what we are. We have a big legal side group, and I'm the head of activism in Patriot of Minorities.
Right. Now, I just want to talk to the side chat for a second and people watching. Please feel free to pose your questions into the side chat, and I'll put those to whoever you direct the question. Our three guests that we have here. Please remember to subscribe to this channel to be kept informed. Now, what I'm going to do now, Wessel, is I'm going to put up on the screen the actual court document. Now, can you take us through this court document? I've got the court document on the screen here. Christo, there's a lot of background noise happening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm very quiet where I am. There's nothing.
Okay, now it's quiet. That's better.
No, we're at a very quiet place.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what's happening.
It's probably interference. That's okay. But when you watch the video later, you'll hear that sort of noise coming through. It might just be interference. Okay, getting back to you, Wessel. I've got this court document up. It says, in the High Court for South Africa, Gauteng Division, on the 2nd of July 2020 before the Honourable Judge Fabricius, and it
Yes.
says Marinda van Zyl, first applicant,
Yes.
and then the respondent is the Chief Executive Officer, Steve Biko Academic Hospital. And
Yes.
then we have a draft order, which reads,
Yes.
after having read the papers filed on record and after having considered the matter, it is ordered, 1, that the non-compliance with the rules is condoned, and that this application is heard on an urgent basis as provided for in Rule 612 of the Uniform Rules of this Court. Now, can you explain to us what that's all about?
Okay, yeah, I'm not the legal side, so you must remember I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
So I haven't got the other documents which they have filed against Judge Fabricius to stipulate what that is. But if I just quickly go through, I've got the letter you've gave to me now in front of me. I just want to see.
Okay, now under point 2,
So
it says,
what I think what basically it's come to that what the Rule 612 of the Uniform Rules of the Court is that he means by this application that this urgent application is that that the application said that there is reasons for intervene and agree that there is injustice against the Mr. van Zyl, and that is why what I think what it's all about in Rule 612, that is in favor of Mr. van Zyl's the fact that he can die because of the non-compliance of these documents by the Steve Biko Hospital.
When they say non-compliance, they're actually suggesting that the Steve Biko Hospital is breaking the law by not releasing that information.
Yes, they are breaking the law, and we will look into the matter. As I said, I'm not part of the legal team, but we have talked about it, that there is definitely reasons for following this up as negligence from the state, and that we maybe can go to a civil case against the state.
I hope you do.
Yes, that's so. In short, so I can't speak on behalf of my of the lawyers, but we definitely are going to look into the matter, and we will talk to Mr. van Zyl and Marinda, that we can see what when we get eventually all the documents and so on. I believe that previously Steve Biko mentioned that there was no damage to his heart. Marinda, you must help me. But
Yes.
they've told that there was no damage to his heart, but it was only his vein that was that where was the problems. And after the evaluation at Initas, they said no, there is damage to his heart, and that is that his condition is more serious than what Steve Biko have told Mrs. and Mr. van Zyl. So I most definitely think there is a case of a civil case in this, and that we must take it further. But that we will look into it, and I think the first thing that must happen now is that we will know after the operation what was happening in his heart areas and so on. So I think that when we go afterwards and get the reports from the doctor and so on, we can base a case on what is actually happening after the operation and so on. So I think it will take a little bit of time, but we definitely will look into it. I personally feel that there is a case of negligence and on the state side, yes.
Okay, now point 2 in the court order says that the first respondent and all staff under her supervision be ordered and directed to immediately hand over the angiography report in respect of the patient, Izak van Zyl, patient number XXX, to the applicants. 3. The remainder of relief is postponed, signed D, and then it's stamped and dated and signed. Now,
yes.
I find it extraordinary that the person who is actually in charge of the hospital treats patients like this. I mean, what does it say about the mentality and the attitude of these admin staff at this hospital?
Scott, I must really tell you that what currently is happening in South Africa State's Hospital is shocking.
Absolutely.
I must state, I can bring you back a few years back, even in Middelburg, where Mrs. van Zyl was staying. Me and Marius was lying in front of a State's Hospital, in front of ambulances, because people were going alive into the State's Hospital, and the next day they been carried out in a coffin. There is no control in the State's hospitals in South Africa, because it's ruled by communists, and those even the doctors. I can't blame the doctors. They try their utter best to help, but if people are lying on the ground, which has been treated, and there's not even a bed, or there is sewage in certain hospitals, you can understand that there's actually no control, and they don't know how to handle. I can say how to manage these hospitals. I'm taking people back that most black people I know say that the State's Hospital was in a better state in the apartheid system and the apartheid era, where everything was clean and people was being treated well and decent. Yeah. But it's not happening, because there is no pride in the work of any worker that is working in a State's Hospital. They only think about money, and they're more striking more than what they are working in South Africa. So the unions, personally, I think the unions are the big problem in South Africa that has been controlled by the communists. They actually they are slowly killed South African in any form of life, even in the State's hospitals. I don't know how to put it out, but we are in serious trouble here in South Africa. I personally don't want to be I don't want to go to a State hospital, because I can promise you I've suffered now for 9 months with cancer, and I promise you, if I was being treated in a State hospital, I most likely have died.
Yeah.
I can promise you that. There's no doubt in my mind that that I would have been carried out in a coffin in a State hospital.
It's absolutely shocking. I mean, it really is just a reflection of how corrupt the ANC gangster state is. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting. It's deplorable.
Yeah. No. So. Well.
Look. You did touch on the fact that you've got a health issue, and I had strict instructions from Marlena that I wasn't keep you on long because you aren't well. But Wessel, I just want to say thank you so much for your interdicting and coming forward and helping Marinda and Izak as you did. I think that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, and to our friends in the world, all around the world, I think to close down my arguments and everything, worldwide we are fighting the same enemy, and that is the communist. I fight my whole life against communism, and we must stand together. Even if we stand against the war, we must still fighting the enemy. We as conservative and independent people in societies must remember that we have actually strengthened this demon organization, or the socialist in this world, by not fighting back. We as society and conservatives and independents must fight back. Otherwise, we're going to lose everything in this world that is good and for moral and values, that is falling right through the world, statues, heritage and everything.
Yeah.
even my friends in America, we feel your pain because we know what is, this is the same thing that is happening here. But yeah, we will talk later, Scott. We have holding next weekend, the 11th, a hand together for all the organizations where we want to bring unity. We must bring unity into South Africa and stand against this evil people. Thank you very much. And Marinda, jy, ek dink is Christo Jonck, as ek reg is. Kan nou nie.
Christo, ja.
Yes, baie dankie vir julle van die Boerelegioen en salute. And Scott, to all of you and your friends, also salute to everybody. Thank you very much.
Before you go, Marinda, is there something you'd like to say to Wessel?
I would just like to thank him once again for him, Marius and Elsabe. And from my side, I would like to encourage the people to be also members for Patriot for Minderhede, because I saw myself, it was within hours, then they assist us and they helped us in every way that was possible. So I really think people should go and look at their website or their Facebook page, and thank you.
Right. Okay. Now, Christo, we'll get to you in a second, because we got some breaking news that we're going to talk about very shortly. We'll just go back to Wessel for a second. Wessel, before you go, is there something you wanted to say?
Yeah, well, all what I can say is that we're fighting the injustice system in our societies, and we will keep on fighting for what is right, and we will fight for everybody that feels, how can I say, feel threatened by this communist state where we are living currently, the ANC government. We will fight until the death for bringing back the pride back into South Africa, for morals and values. Even through my sickness, I've said I will stay positive just for one thing, and that is I want to see a better South Africa where everybody can live together in a way where everybody's rights are being respected and not disrespected just because I'm white. I respect everybody's culture, and I want the same treatment as everybody in this country. I want the same treatment, and I want to be treated as a citizen of this country, and that is what that is my closing arguments. And until we don't get that, and until the ANC government is fighting us with discriminating laws or threatening us with taking our land and killing our people, what is happening in this COVID, not helping the poor because they just white and so on, we will fight that, and we will not stand back 1 centimeter anymore for this government. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And before you go, Wessel, just one final thing. You talked about a meeting you're having this weekend with other organizations to Eendracht Markt. Is there any chance that if there is any chance, I would love to cover some of that, on a live stream. But that's just a long shot. Perhaps you can speak to Marlena. And have you got Marlena's? Well, okay, Marinda or Christo, can you give Wessel Marlena's phone number, and perhaps she can have a chat to you and see how we can actually tie that up. That's if you're happy to do that.
No, we're going to start with a small live stream where we're going to have a small. I can't tell you now what it is about, but I think it will be a shocker just before the start of the meeting. That is a surprise to everybody that is going to sit there on the 11th, and me and Marius is going to do something that have never been done in this country. by any white person or from the Afrikaner community. I think that will be a shock, and I think you will appreciate what we are going to do and understand it is in the same way. Well, no, let me rather stop, because otherwise I'm going to tell you. But
you send me the
you're
link.
most welcome. Yeah, you're very welcome that you can. We will live stream it to you, and Marlene is welcome to attend that meeting on 11th. Boerelegioen will attend that also. And as I said, we're going to talk about unity, but the starting of that meeting will tell everybody why we are doing it.
Right.
Because enough is, we must stop now the enemy from destroying us as a society. Thank
Exactly.
you.
I totally get it. All right. Look, thank you so much, Wessel. Look, if you can just touch base with Marlena, and we'll very happily live stream your meeting.
Yes, now we'll do so.
Okay.
Goeienaand allemaal. Lekker slaap, Christo, Marinda, lekker aand.
Goeienaand.
Okay.
Bye.
Lots of vessels.
Okay.
Okay, Christo, I've made you the lucky last because obviously Wessel and Izak, we didn't want to keep them on too long because of health. Now, Christo, if you can tell us, what is your role at Boerelegioen? Like Christo? Hi, Christo.
So,
Christo, can you hear me?
hello,
Yeah,
can you
hear
hear
me?
clearly, Scott?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You better start again. Can you tell us what your position is at Boerelegioen?
I'm the second in command of the I'm actually in charge of the operations of the Boerelegioen.
Okay.
So I'm reporting to General Izak, and I'm second in charge.
Okay, fantastic. And you've got some breaking news, haven't you, that you want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, well, it's, they call it breaking. So what the story is that what you saw, the
You guys, see if
intensified the tax on our people. We took strategically good to hear me.
yeah, we got a bad line. Can
Hello?
Yeah, can you just repeat what you just said now?
Said, as you understand what's happening in South Africa on the moment, with the intensified attacks on the farmers, especially those last 2 weeks. So we have realigned and strategically start talking to quite a few groups which is aligned with us to realign our reaction forces.
Right.
To start a defense and making sure that we're starting defending. So we are hard busy now trying to be busy running all on the ground, and it's involved because we really need some young people and fit people also to get the job done. So we are very fortunate on the moment that the Lord is working with us, that all the groups or the major groups are thinking alike. And strategically, that's what I'm busy doing on the moment, is getting alignment of all those important groups and realigning our reaction forces, or if you can call it fire forces, where we need it mostly. You also find that the attacks on the farms have increased by number. Instead of 1 or 2 people, now every one person is getting 4 to 8 people attacking the farms.
Right.
So we have to really work through this process and find a way to stop it now.
Right. Okay, so basically you're ramping up your response to what's going on.
Yes, so we are getting intelligence. We do like the old days and small groups. We got all the skills that we need to get the right information. And yeah, so we have to start defending. We draw the line in the sand And if people want to come over that, then they will really be dealt with. And I think this is where we're going, that in all fairness, that we have to start protecting our own and protect our people.
Yeah. No, I get it that there's some really good police still in the South African police service, but generally their standard.
No,
Yeah, generally the
but
standard of.
You see, the problem we have on the moment, Scott, is that we don't get any support.
Yeah.
Certain places we do get support from the police. We're involved in CPFs and the local police forces, but mainly because of the ministers and the government, it's ignoring this whole issue about farm murders. That we really don't get any support from anybody anywhere, that we really need to tell the world now. Enough is enough. We're not declaring any war. We're not doing any illegal things. We are just going to protect, like our normal citizens, against this onslaught we are experiencing.
Right. Well, you've got every right in the world to defend yourself, so that's perfectly good. And I'm just so pleased there's an organization like Boere Legion that can step forward and help people. And I would appeal to people who aren't a member of Boere Legion yet. Please do join. And I think it costs about a cup of coffee every month to be part of the Boere Legion. And also, if you're overseas, you can join them. And the website is boerelegion.co.za. And you can join from there, can't you, Christo?
Yes, exactly. You can join from anywhere, Scott.
Yeah.
And also it's good to join the Boere Legion, because we've come a long way of training, getting people, everybody. We got two groups in the Boere Legion. We called it in the normal citizens, and then we got the reaction force. So we've identified that there are two groups of people in the groups, and that's why we focus on certain people with certain training. But it's actually very important that people should join any good group that we are working together, because the time is few. I think Scott, I think it's to start that we should have done that a long time ago. But luckily, we got the right people and the right associates to take this thing forward. And we as a Boer Nation and the minorities in South Africa, as it's actually that we are getting together. It's like a puzzle. On the moment, it's like a puzzle coming together. Each little group's got its own little piece, and that is coming together very nicely.
Fantastic.
And I'm actually very happy to say that.
That's absolutely fantastic. Carlos, is something? Sorry, Christo, is there something you'd like to say to the people who are watching this video now, or who might watch it later, from Boere Legion?
No, I think I want to say something out of my heart, if I can, Scott. Is that people must really, the South Africans or the minorities,
Sorry, guys, we've got to pick up here.
Everybody in South Africa needs to get back. I mean, there is
Christo?
so much.
Christo?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can I suggest you turn your camera off, because I think your video is eating up the bandwidth, and I think we'll hear you much better without the camera. Just turn the camera off.
Yeah, okay, let me do that.
There we go. Now that should be better. Christo, can you just give your message can you give your message to people again? Start again.
What? Okay, what I said is actually message out of my heart. It's that everybody in South Africa, and actually everybody needs to get down on their knee and start to repent. Our time is for you, and the Lord really, I think, is on the last point to give us mercy, to get things sorted. But that's where I am, and I think that's where we are in can't say we have to, and that's in the spiritual. And get all people in and give them the training to prepare, and we will whatever we need to do.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here, Christo. Okay, fantastic. Christo, I'm going to talk to Marinda for a short while, and then we'll be shutting down this live stream. Is there anything you'd like to say to Marinda? Marinda?
I just want to tell Marinda, she's an iron woman in general. I know she's like a lot of strength, but she's a tough cookie, and know that she can handle anything that's coming towards her. And to all the Boerelegioen, my senior staff.
Where you are right now, the reception is so much better. Please go ahead. Just stay where you are.
Okay, moved. So, also I want to say to all my the town people that's in charge of the towns. I also want to say to all the senior staff, thank you for their support. We have done a lot of strategic things this last few weeks, and I believe that they all are on the right spot going forward. And also the rest of South Africa, please people, support a group. Get involved. There are so many good things happening in South Africa.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Carlo. Sorry, Christo. I'm sorry.
Lots of individuality, but everybody is trying, and if we can get everybody to do the same thing, that's
right. Okay. Now, Marinda, let's go back to you. You've been sitting there patiently, and I guess you're keen to get back to see how Isaac is. Is there something you'd like to say to people before we shut down this live stream?
Yes. I said thank you so many times, but I want to encourage people. During this past 4 days, I saw that our people can still stand together. I've got messages on Facebook and on my inbox that's actually, they call themselves Isaac's enemies because they stamp koppe gereeld. They disagree a lot. And even that people sent messages and said in times like these, we put away our differences. We want to say good luck to you, get well soon, strong. So for the enemy, if I can call him the enemy, I've got news for you. Our people can stand together.
Right. Okay. Marinda, thank you so much, and look, please keep in touch with Marlena so we can keep an eye on how Isaac is. And
yeah, I will give all the updates to Marlena as it happens.
Okay, fantastic. And I know you must be absolutely exhausted, but I really do appreciate you coming on and chatting to us tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I must make an exception and thank Marlena. I don't know when that woman sleeps. I don't know when she's resting ever, because she's always online. She's always available, and I think I must send her a huge flowers or something, because she encouraged me when you need her, she's there.
Yeah, she's a wonderful lady. All right, guys.
Yes.
I think that we've basically covered the breaking news, and we know exactly what happened at Steve Biko Hospital now, and apparently that court order has been presented to that crummy Steve Biko Hospital. So hopefully the cardiologist has now got all the information he needs. With that, I'm going to shut down the live stream now, but guys, don't forget, tomorrow night we got another live stream with the Cape Party. And before I go, I just want to thank our moderators for the fantastic job they do. Marlena, by the way, says no flowers necessary, Marinda, only a pleasure. There you go. And yeah,
Thank you.
to everybody who's been part of this live stream, thank you for joining us, and let's all pray for Izak and also for Wessel, because apparently Wessel is not well.
Yes.
And they're both very special people. Okay, yeah. I'm going to sign out now, Marinda. Take care, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Okay.